I think one of the most interesting new things with League of Legends that's really going to make it fun to watch is Rek'Sai, the new hero. James.
Oh my god.
Kyle, tell me everything about Rek'Sai.
Oh my god.
Kyle, go.
So good. New jungler. Big gimmick is the burrowing whole aspect. She's underground. It's a she, by the way. It kind of looks like kind of like Skarner, like a big old scorpion.
Skarner mixed with like Cho'Gath.
Yeah. And one of the moves she has is burrows underground, and it severely restricts your field of view. But then you get like a little, like I don't know, like a little circle, like a ping.
Like a ping almost. Think. I forget who I texted this to. Think Tremors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think the movie. Have you seen anyone seen Tremors?
Mm-hmm. It's scary.
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
So
I did not know that's what you were referencing. No.
Yeah, I'm referencing the movie / TV show Tremors.
I was like, Tremors, is that a hero?
Yeah, so when she goes underground, her vision's limited, and movement from champions is represented as like a little ping, like a sonar ping that radiates out from their point of location.
That's really cool because it changes your spatial awareness to sound.
Yeah, exactly. And
It is visual.
it's visual.
It is a visual ping.
Okay.
But it is like, oh, I can hear it.
She can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it's for minions as well. I found that out today.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I watched a couple streams on it. It's pretty cool. But she has this ability where she can burrow. That means makes like one hole, and then there's another hole as an exit, just like a normal tunnel. But you can put it like under trees or in bushes, and her ult will take her from across the map to whichever burrow she has to go to. So it's really changes the meta of the game.
So she's super mobile. She's a jungler. You could conceivably, you could burrow in the enemy jungle and then burrow all the way to your jungle and bounce between those camps.
Yeah, the cooldown on her ult is fairly long. It's about 3 minutes.
Sure.
I think.
So you would.
I'm not sure at all levels.
3 minutes.
It's a long.
That's super long.
Yeah, that's an eternity.
It's still really
in MOBAs.
interesting though that conceivably, I know that like you're having trouble in your lane, so I'm gonna go burrow up there, and then I'm gonna go do my thing, jungle, clean out some camps. Oh, James is in trouble. Burrow and just shoot all the way up to your lane.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. I can help you. I'm ganking because I'm a jungler.
And it's like you could leave a tunnel, say like kind of behind the enemy line, and as you come out, like you'd be like, okay, well, it's not a great time to gank, so I can just go farm for a little bit, and you're like, oh, they're pushing up, ult behind them.
Yep.
You go underground, and as you pop up, it's also a knock up. So if you go under someone, you just knock them up.
Yep.
And then you can.
If you had like a teammate that could set up a stun on top of your burrow hole and you double stack stuns, yeah, that's awesome.
You can stomp on her tunnels, so you just run over it, and it'll give you 5 gold. But she has I never confirmed whether it was 8 separate tunnels or just 4 tunnels, but apparently they can. Yeah, they can only you can have 8 holes out.
Okay.
And they're a short distance. It's not like you can have like from one side of the map to the other.
And it's actually not that big.
No, it's not very. I couldn't.
It's
give an
mostly just like
estimate.
I need to escape from you now.
Yeah, it's like I need to hop a wall. I need to like.
Although there have been, I was watching some video about like you could put it under walls that you couldn't think. Like you're like, oh, that doesn't look long. Like the skill shot, like actual like representation on the ground doesn't look long enough.
The vector
but you
line.
can actually make it under like some like larger objects that you couldn't think.
It's going to be so good because you could like put a tunnel from the one side of the trees into their blue and ward it on that side. And as soon as they get there, you just ult to them, jack them up, take their blue, and then you leave.
Fierce.
It's going to be really
That's a gnarly
good.
hero.
Yeah.
Riot has been so good this year about releasing League champs.
It's been like almost like between 3 to 5 weeks that they've announced a new champion.
When did that start? Like, how many have they released this year?
They did Azir, I believe, then the Scion rework, then Callista, then
Nar.
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 Nar
Oh my
was kind of the
God,
start
I can't
of it,
believe
right?
I forgot Nar.
Yeah, I think he was.
Did somebody else come out earlier in the year? Like in the first half of the year? I thought there was like 1 or 2 earlier. In
I'm
2014.
blanking. I forgot Nar, let alone freaking anything before that.
It wasn't Yasuo this year?
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was.
I feel like he's been
he may
in
have
the
been
game forever.
in the early part of the year. But yeah, they had. I mean, Riot has talked about in the past. It takes 2 months to a year to develop a champ.
Yeah.
Like they put it through rigorous like just checks and balances and
I believe it.
like
And
development
sometimes we
process.
still get Azir breaking towers. Yeah, that was such a brutal bug. That was so bad.
Yeah, like it takes a while, but I feel like they're hitting a point where they have enough teams that are going full speed that they're just hitting milestone after milestone on these characters and be like, all right, we can put one out now. And it's usually like 2 or 3 weeks. Like we've talked about this before. It's 2 to 3 weeks of like testing from the reveal, and then they're out.
I've really liked all of them that's came out so far. They've all had really interesting mechanics, really interesting concepts, and applied really well. I'm excited.
Sean, as someone who likes esports but doesn't necessarily play a ton of MOBAs anymore, what would it take for you to like get into League of Legends?
Oh, money.
Man. Yeah,
would it take
probably.
it would take money in CSGO to just not exist.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, shooters are my jam. They've always been my jam. I just don't think MOBAs are fast enough for me. Like, it would need to be like when you're in a 5v5 battle, like in mid or in the river.
You just want all team fights.
It needs to be like that all the time. Like, it needs to be that fast because,
and you
like,
hit 18 right from the get go.
Yeah, like in Counter-Strike, you can't do a particular strategy for very simple things like I spawn too far away. Yeah. And you know that if one guy for instance, on Dust 2, if you're going to do a B rush as terrorist and you get a bad spawn, you know for a fact that if your opponent ran there with their knives out, they would be in the site before you got there, and you wouldn't even be able to flash your way in. So your strategy is nullified just by your spawn. And so, like, every little thing you do having to do with your position creates those inches that it takes to successfully capture a site.
Never even occurred to me that we were spawning in different spots, but that makes sense.
it's
a
like,
game. It's a matter of feet.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a game of inches, just like Dota and stuff is. But like in my mind, those inches are decisive basically throughout the match. Like, and it doesn't, as you know, not the most competitive player in LoL or Dota, it doesn't seem like that to me. Where like in the first 2 minutes, if you up, you can still. Like I just did.
I need to mark that. Have fun editing that.
If you mess up in the first 2 minutes, like through good teamwork and through making it up later on, you're still going to be okay. Whereas, like, if you mess up really early in the round, that's a bullet in the face and you are dead. And that is it. The round is over for you and your team is left without you.
I really, really enjoyed, though, like, how quick, like, they're 2 minute matches. They're not very long.
2 minute rounds, yeah.
They're 2 minute rounds. And that's, like, a very appealing thing. One of our other friends we've talked about a lot, Crispy, was talking about the appeal of having a short round-based, like, game in terms of having a bunch of those could be applied to MOBAs, and I think that's a really fascinating concept.
But you have to downsize the map, and I mean, we're getting way off track now, but like Vainglory is similar to that, right? I mean, you're reviewing it, I've been playing it a bit, like having one lane and a very small, tight, focused jungle, where after a certain amount of time, a team can essentially just win by, you know, taking control of this giant neutral creep that will dominate everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, those games are essentially round-based because they are on such a timer that, like, at 20 minutes, this creature spawns, because the game has to end. It's been going on too long.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the thing is, one, by design, they're totally different games, but one of the main differences that I think has a lot to do with the pace of a game like Counter-Strike versus a game like League of Legends or Dota is, like, both teams have the same objective, which is not true in Counter-Strike. Like,
they have literally the opposite objective.
Yeah, in competitive
play... Be a terrorist and don't be a terrorist.
Yeah, in competitive play where you're only playing generally DE maps, which is bomb maps, your terrorists have to plant a bomb or kill all the CTs, and the CTs have to kill all the Ts or defuse the bomb or prevent them from planting the bomb by killing them all. And so with different objectives, it lends itself to wildly different strategies and gameplay mechanics, which is the variation comes in those things where it's not exactly the same in Dota, where by and large you're trying to do the same thing in different ways, you know?
Yeah, and the variation comes from
different heroes, different combos, different
items,
all that. Yeah.